Greetings and welcome to another Patch Notes video here at Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy Alexander. I'm joined this week by Keith Robinson. That was the podcast intro. That was just the podcast intro. I guess I have a default setting.
You saw me. Those computers in front of us, it just kind of went normal.
It's
if
the
there was
same
a few
overlay
other
and
faces.
everything. Yeah, we need to somehow flip things around a bit for just so I know this isn't a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, technically it is a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it goes out the same channel, so.
Yeah, and I mean, by definition of what is a podcast, this is just a podcast. We just don't call that a podcast. Podcast. We're here to talk about the Game Awards, which I watched in its entirety at like 4 a.m. And Keith wisely chose to wait until I just showed him a bunch of trailers.
Yeah.
I don't know who was the smarter of the two.
Got smacked down by, rammed down my throat on YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much. So let's talk about the Game Awards. Where should we start? Dealer's choice. There's a list. We have a list.
We have a list.
I say dealer's choice. Technically, I would be the dealer. Player's choice. DM's choice.
I don't have a copy of the list.
I sent you a link. Professionalism. Let's talk about Joker in Smash Bros. Ultimate as the first DLC fighter, because I feel like, even though that was DLC,
yeah,
that's probably the best one.
Yeah, I
Everything
mean,
that happened.
Yeah, I am kind of like, I liked the intro trailer. I like the idea of Joker being in it because I love Persona 5. So some Persona 5 goodness in another thing that, I have. It's cool. I also have loved the memes which have come up off it.
I haven't seen the memes.
The only ones I've really seen is because of the whole thing where you get an envelope with the Smash seal on the back of it.
Uh-huh.
There is an anime based off of like book at the moment which is called Goblin Slayer. In which he receives it, but it's too busy killing goblins instead of just send Eddie Joker.
Okay, fair enough. No, I remember that moment from watching it live at the Game Awards. Obviously, it was like, here's Reggie, here's the Nintendo thing, and everyone's like, Metroid, Pokemon, Animal Crossing, like pie in the sky stuff. And then the Persona thing started, and then it was like, Persona's coming to Switch! Oh my god, Persona's coming to Switch! And then, like, the envelope turned around and it had the Smash logo on it, and it was like, what? But Persona's not on Nintendo. Like, how is this a thing? And then it's just like, rules, Smash Brothers rules. Fuck them.
I think someone was trying like linking tangential things.
There's a tangential thing where it was in Persona something on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Which I believe came out last year, and it was just like, yeah, I guess, but I like to at least hold on to the hope that Nintendo's just chucked the rules out and it's just said, like, nah, fuck it, we're just going to have 5 characters from, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Because
that would be cool. But I would also kind of love it if next year we got an announcement that Persona 5 is going to Switch.
Persona 5 is coming to Switch. Like, it has to, right? I would say definitely, like, is definitely going to come to Switch.
See, I was going to discuss this on another podcast we have at the end of the year, but
We can do that. That's fine. We'll table that discussion. It's cool. Anyway, Dragon Age 4, which we kind of knew was going to happen beforehand.
Yeah. Not only have they mentioned it enough around other things regarding Anthem and team dynamics and stuff, they also kind of said that there would be an announcement in December, which I believe everyone and their dog decided was going to be at the Game Awards because
the Game
what
Awards
else is in December?
Egg fucking exactly. It was like, well, it's not going to be at the Kind of Funny Games Showcase, which we'll have a video for later today, but it's going to be at the Game Awards. And I think it was just literally, you could break it down, right? It's like, It's December. It's going to be at the Game Awards. They're already there. They're doing an Anthem thing. We know that. It's going to be a teaser. There's going to be nothing to it. We're not going to get a release date. We knew all of this going in. And we got exactly what we thought we were going to get.
It's actually less than the last teaser we got for a Dragon Age game. Do you remember the Dragon Age 3 teaser that was at E3.
No.
Where it was like you heard Morrigan. You heard her voice, and then you actually got those flames, and you got the solar character briefly. That was that was like the teaser announcement. We didn't get to see anyone in this. We got the over here.
The guy.
Got to hear a voice.
Solus, right?
Solus, that was it. Yeah, I was thinking Praise the Sun, but that wasn't quite right.
Praise the Sun. That's Dark Souls. We're
Yeah,
not.
but Solar. Yeah,
We're not
Solus.
memifying Dragon Age 4. It was just a mural, right? It was like a mural style artwork thing that slowly revealed itself.
Yeah, it was sort of an art piece that goes around while they're talking.
Yeah.
And
how do you feel?
Dragon Age Inquisition, it refers to kind of refers to and links to something that's on at the very end, like the after credits of Dragon Age.
It's like the sequel hook that was in Inquisition, and they're actually just going, yep, and now we're using that hook, and here's Dragon Age. Do you think the subtitle's going to be the Dreadwolf Rises? Because that was basically kind of the tweet, the hashtag for it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty much expecting that. Because it looks, I mean, with Inquisition, the one away from the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, which makes sense, really.
Yeah.
Calling Dragon Age 2 is a bit weird because it wasn't really a continuation of the first Dragon Age, which had a subtitle. Like Dragon Age Origins had a subtitle. Dragon Age 2 was just Dragon Age 2. I always found that really strange.
We've discussed this many times. The Dragon Age 2 was very weird development cycle.
Yeah, like they could have at least called it something, but didn't.
It could have just been called Dragon Age, no subtitle.
It's Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age Alpha, Dragon Age EX Alpha, Dragon Age EX Alpha Plus. Sorry.
I didn't realize it was a Japanese studio.
I got carried away. You excited? Like, does this do anything for you? Like, bearing in mind we already knew Dragon Age 4 was a thing. Like,
it gives me nothing. It's exactly what all the information we had is already there. And it basically, I mean, if I can bring your cynicism into this for a moment.
My cynicism?
Yeah, you did kind of suggest that this was to garner the positive will of fans before Anthem came out in case Anthem crashed.
I mean, it's a thing. It's a proven AAA publisher / studio strategy, right? Shit, people might not like this. But it's cool if you. It's like, but we've got this. But don't worry, you hardcore fans who don't like Anthem. We're also making Dragon Age.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Before this, we did get the information that like Dragon Age isn't going to have like romanceable characters. Not Dragon Age. Anthem's not going to have romanceable characters and stuff.
If Dragon Age didn't have romanceable characters, there's even no point. There's just no point.
We just cut to that gif from like Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That was a cancel. I think
And now we throw back our heads in laughter. Are you ready? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which we did an entire podcast of memeing that. But yeah, no, like you said, we didn't get anything, so there's nothing really new here.
Yeah.
We knew what Dragon Age 4 was probably going to be about. We knew it was in development. And now we know what Dragon Age 4 is probably going to be about and that it's in development. Let's stick with BioWare. There was an Anthem trailer. It was a story trailer. It was, believe this was the first story trailer that we've got for Anthem.
The previous ones have been fake gameplay, and I don't mean fake gameplay as in that they fake the gameplay. I mean they have people who are playing the game pretending to be parties of people playing the game.
Ubisoft gameplay, we'll call it.
Right.
Because they kind of do that every single bastard, yeah. How do you feel after watching the Anthem story trailer? Do you feel any better?
It actually gives us an idea why the game's called Anthem.
Sort of.
Yeah, and they throw there's characters in it what's thrown away like stuff about the anthem and chaos, and it kind of sounds like the anthem is either something which organizes the chaos or is the power base behind the factions which attack humanity's colony on this planet.
Yeah, it sounds like the Traveler from Destiny, not the Destiny that we got, but the story that we heard about, which was scrapped.
Yeah, that the Traveler was
technically kind of drawing all of the bad guys to itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit like that. like, I thought the story trailer was cool on its own, like free from the context of everything else that we know about Anthem. I was like, it's a cool story trailer. It's epic. It's painting a picture, and it's like, yeah, this story's really good. But then I remember this is a shared world live service game. Like, how big is the story going to go? Like, it's not going to be impactful because you can't change the world. Because if you change the world, you're changing the world for everybody, not just yourself. Which has always been a big thing, with sticking point with me with live service games that go, we've got a great story. It's like, I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, you get the whole instant zone things and stuff you get in WoW, which just...
I mean, they did that in Star Wars: The Old Republic when you went into a story area, and it was just like, you're by yourself. Like, here's a cool story, but then when you come back, it's like nothing changed. You're still like the chosen one, and so are all these people, and all those people over there, and that dude behind you.
You're all chose.
You're the chosen million. However many people play Anthem. I've got the VIP. I've got access to the VIP demo because I'm in EA Access. So whenever that comes out, I'll definitely have a look at it because I'm intrigued. Like, my hype level for Anthem is low, but it's a BioWare game. Like, I've got to check it out, right?
I think it's February for the EA Access.
There's one in January, which is for VIPs, and then there's an open one in February, which is a demo. They called it a demo. They didn't call it a beta, which is good because it's too late for a beta. Like,
yeah,
you can't have a beta like a few weeks before the launch of a game. The game's finished.
Wasn't that Mass Effect Andromeda?
Everyone did that. Mass Effect Andromeda's was a trial. EA have been really good about not calling things that aren't betas, whereas you got something like Fallout 76, which was having betas a week before launch.
Yeah.
Like, surprisingly, the game didn't change very much. Okay, so we've done that. Those are the big sort of headliners, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I guess as Far Cry New Dawn is probably a headliner as well.
Yes. We discussed this briefly. You know, the whole Fallout as it should have been. Just imagine Garfield coming.
We'll get to Fallout as it should have been in a moment. But I mean, it looks like a spin-off. So it looks like, remember Far Cry Primal from a couple of years ago, where they took
the elephant one.
They took the map of Far Cry 4 and then made it like a prehistoric adventure thing instead of a Far Cry game. And this looks like...
I was thinking Far Cry Blood Dragon when you started this. But...
I mean, yeah, Blood Dragon works too. I mean, that was a bit different because that was like a completely new sci-fi, retro sci-fi game, which looked kind of cool. I never did play that. But, like, obviously it follows on from the end of Far Cry 5. Spoilers for Far Cry 5. Mute the stream for about 10 seconds. Obviously at the end of Far Cry 5, nuclear bombs explode all over Montana.
One of the storylines, one of the endings, ends in a nuclear explosion. The other one doesn't.
Yes, that's true. And then there's the secret ending, which is, there's always one in Far Cry, where if you just basically do what you're told at the beginning of the game, you get the ending. Like in Far Cry 4, Ping Min, when you sit down, he's just like, wait here, I'll be back. And if you literally wait there and he'll be back, like, you get what is arguably the best ending in the game.
Yeah, I've recently seen that on one of the outside extra things. It just takes you up to where you wanted to go.
Yeah, it's done. Like, no problems. And then, like, Far Cry 5, there's a similar thing where you got to arrest the dude at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then you've got the choice to arrest him or don't. And if you don't, you get what is probably, again, arguably one of the best endings of the game, where it doesn't all erupt in violence and you just walk away, and the sheriff guy's just like, it's a good job you didn't do that because that could turn into a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it did!
Let's come back with the Marines.
Yeah. New Dawn looks cool, I guess, for a spin-off thing. Like, I'd be interested in Far Cry's take on the post-apocalypse. It's weird to think that, like, of all the Ubisoft titles, like, all of Ubisoft's big banner franchises, Far Cry's the one they seem to be able to do just about anything with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we went back to the prehistoric dinosaur age, we had the retro sci-fi thing, we've got the post-apocalypse. We had a crossover with Trials, of all things.
Yeah.
That one time. Like, they're very experimental with Far Cry, like for a AAA studio, for it still being the same game essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's working for them. I mean, it's not like someone's going to like pick up like 4 and just go, "No, this is identical to 3."
Yeah, I mean, 4 and 3
The
were kind of
similarity,
similar,
yeah.
but in terms of gameplay, like, and I'm interested in the villains because the villains in Far Cry games were always awesome.
This one appears to be a pair of twins.
Yes, pair of twins doing their usual post-apocalyptic raider shtick of we're the bad guys, we're going to take everything from the good guys because that's how the post-apocalypse works. Motorbikes, yeah, post-apocalypse. It's very colourful nuclear wasteland, though.
It is, which I kind of like.
I do
It
too.
differentiates itself from the other like post-apocalyptic games out there, apart from Rage.
Yeah, which also looks quite colourful.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like it. Like, everything's brown in post-apocalypse games, and I don't like that.
Yeah, even brown or grey.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Fallout done right, let's talk about Outer Worlds, which is the game Obsidian were teasing. It's not a Microsoft exclusive. You see, the thing about the studios that Microsoft have bought is that they're definitely being put to work making games for the Xbox and for Game Pass, but most of these studios already had contractual commitments elsewhere. For example, this is being made for Take-Two's it's either Private Division or Pirate Division. I can't remember which. And we already knew that was a thing. Like, they'd already signed up to it before Microsoft had bought them. So this is that game, and it's by Obsidian, who made Fallout New Vegas, and they brought on board the original creators of the original Fallouts, and they want you to know this, like with great gusto.
Yeah.
The timing of this announcement. We'll get into the game in a second. I just want to talk about I mean, the trailer was created with all this Fallout. We made Fallout New Vegas, we made Fallout 2, because in response to Fallout 76's existence, right? Like, well, Bethesda's over here making a multiplayer Fallout 76 game that no one really wants from who's like a core Fallout fan. Obsidian just stroll up and just go, hey, we made the good Fallouts, subjectively speaking, and we're making this RPG over here. Come join us. And we've got the original guys back on board.
Yeah.
I think the whole, like, timing of it is perfect, because obviously with Fallout 76, well, being Fallout 76.
Yeah. It has been poorly reviewed, that game, and it does have issues.
Yes, it does.
You know what to say? If you drop the ball, someone else will pick it up.
Damn right they will. So let's talk about the Outer Worlds. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Looks pretty
I
cool.
still wouldn't remember what it was to begin with. This was one I thought looked a bit like Borderlands.
Yes, it did look a little bit like Borderlands. So it's sci-fi. It's set on the outer edges of the frontier, except the frontier's been bought by corporations. So there's like corporations everywhere. And there's that one awesome bit where that woman's giving the intense speech of just like, you have to choose right now. And then the character just shoots someone, and then there's a person in the background is just like, and she's just like, you didn't have to kill him, but you do you.
Yeah, he just shoots a robot.
But it looks really cool. I'm interested. It's coming out in 2019 as well, so it's an RPG, and RPGs aren't dying, but they are becoming fewer and further between.
Mm-hmm.
Between. What else have we got here? Let's talk about the fact that Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is finally coming out, which I'm sure Tom, when he found out, is jumping for joy because he loves Marvel Ultimate Alliance. It's a Switch exclusive.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
No. It was a very interesting moment when we were watching the Game Awards. It was the first world premiere in the main show, and they were like, check it out. No one knew. He didn't like do any preamble, and there was no one on stage to say this is something Nintendo or something, whatever. So the Switch thing comes up, and then the Marvel logo comes up. So naturally, everybody's like, "Oh shit, there's a Marvel game coming out on Switch." Is Spider-Man coming out on Switch? No, it can't be.
No.
But yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I don't know if you've played Ultimate Alliance games. They're quite old now,
No.
relatively speaking. So they're like 4-player co-op games, basically. You go through the story mode, and you make teams of 4 out of all sorts of different Marvel characters. You saw in the trailer, there was the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the X-Men, Spider-Man. And if there's two people playing, if there's one person playing, you switch between different characters. If there's 2 people playing, you each control 2. So you'll take 2 characters, and I'll take 2 characters. So it kind of makes perfect sense for the Switch, because they're all about couch co-op, couch multiplayer. Link your switches together.
Yeah.
Perform voodoo to get Smash Brothers Ultimate to work. That's an anecdote we'll save for the podcast.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's just really strange. Marvel Game Studios have made 2, are now making 2 games. Spider-Man, which was exclusive to PS4. Ultimate Alliance, which is exclusive to Switch. Do you think they're going to make an Xbox exclusive? Just to round it out?
At some point, maybe.
Imagine if the Avengers project was a Game Pass Xbox exclusive. Because that was the other thing that goes through your head when you see the Marvel logo come up. It's like, is this the Avengers project?
Yeah. It would turn some heads.
It would turn every head. The Russo brothers came out, and it was exactly like I said it was on the podcast. They're not coming out to show the Avengers trailer. They're not coming out to show Avengers project. They're literally just presenting an award because they're big gamers.
Yeah.
Although it was funny, the timing was funny. Sorry, just to go on a really short tangent, because they came out, they presented their award, they left the stage. Jeff Keighley, okay, so next we've got, and that's when the Persona 5 reveal happened. But the Persona 5 reveal was like the Cyberpunk reveal at E3. So all the lights went down, and Jeff Keighley did his whole fake, wait, what's going on thing. So everyone was like, oh shit, this is it. And then it was Persona. And I wasn't disappointed. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe goes down as probably the most entertaining trailer at the Game Awards. Wait, what do you mean we didn't release on consoles? So that's gonna be cool. There's gonna be new endings, new choices. Yeah.
Daddy needs a third swimming pool.
Won't this be fun, Stanley? I love the whole thing of like, yes, we came out and remember all those awards we were nominated for, and then it was just like because The Last of Us came out and just cleaned all the awards up. Ah, yes, those were the days. And then at the end, what do you mean The Last of Us 2 is coming out in 2019? So that was cool. Hades, talk to me about Hades, because you're the super giant guy.
It's another beautiful video game created by the team at Super Giant Games. It sounds like it's the same composer as well, but I can't fact check that for you at the moment.
Fair enough. It looks like it's going back to a sort of Bastion / Transistor gameplay style.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Transistor without the tactical RPG parts where you can like pause and do the tactic stuff, which is cool. I know you love Bastion. You know I love Bastion.
Mm-hmm.
If they go back to that kind of gameplay style, that'd be awesome. Because Supergiant have done that really weird thing that some indie developers do, where it's like all of our games will be massively different from each other.
Yeah, it's like Transistor wasn't massively distant to Bastion, but it was different enough.
Yeah, like it added new stuff.
Then there's Pyre,
which was a 3v3 Eldritch basketball visual novel game, right?
Yeah. I gave you a load of stuff to describe it for a review or impressions video or something.
You did. We published it more than a year ago. Keith, do you care about Crash Team Racing?
No.
Crash Team Racing Remaster's happening. Anyway, we're into the... We can't really say much about this section now. Did you watch the Ancestors trailer?
Yes.
What do you think?
I don't think we have enough scientific knowledge about the previous iterations of our species to produce a video game on it. But A, that never stopped the video game industry, and B, it's been a long time since I took an anthropology course, so...
I mean, let's let fiction fill in the blanks, right? But
yeah,
I think we've seen this game before. So it was by the guy, one of the people who created Assassin's Creed. Now, what you got to remember is, it's hard to remember this 65 Assassin's Creed games later, but when Assassin's Creed first came out, it was actually quite unique. All the way back when it first came out. So I'm kind of low-key sort of like interested in this, but I think we've seen this game before. Gamescom PlayStation a long time ago. The same.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. The same developer premiered a game called Wild, which I don't know if this is anything to do with that or not, because I never remember that game coming out, and I don't remember playing that game.
Yeah.
But it's like years and years ago. I'm talking like when this was a thing, because he left Ubisoft in 2013, so it's like 5 years ago now. But it looks interesting. The Winter of Arcade was announced as promised. There are a lot more games in it than there ever have been in a Winter of Arcade. Normally you get 5 or 6. There are a lot more than 5 or 6. And they're all coming out this year, which is even crazier. So Ashen, Mutant Year Zero, Below, and Kingdom 2 Crowns. Those are all in the Winter of Arcade. Those are all also coming to Game Pass. Ashen is awesome, can confirm. Have played it, did an impressions video on it. You're also getting Subnautica, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek. I cannot believe that game got a sequel. Donut County and Desert Child, which we'll talk more, maybe a little bit more about in the next video. The Winter of Arcade thing is, if you buy every game that you buy after the first game, you get $5 credit. So if you buy 2, you get $5. If you buy 3, you get $10. If you buy 4, so on and so forth. Which there's always a catch like that to the arcade stuff. But I mean, there's some really cool games on there that I've already played, and there's some Belows coming out on Friday, which I'm super looking forward to. Hopefully this becomes a regular thing again. Speaking of Rage 2, it comes out on May 14th. I know you mentioned it earlier. There was a trailer. I don't remember the trailer. I just remember that it's coming out in May. Not February 22nd, 2019. We need to talk about that in the next podcast as well, because 2 games have moved away from that date, and now I think there's another day in February where there's like 4 or 5 games coming out on the same day. So I need to talk to you about that in the next podcast. We'll talk about one more game, and it's Mortal Kombat 11.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing. There was a leak beforehand of Spanish voice actor was like, hey, I'm in Mortal Kombat 11, and everybody was like, oh shit, they're making Mortal Kombat 11. It's very violent.
This is Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big AAA game, so I feel like we need to mention it, but it's worth noting that neither, outside of you loving Marvel vs. Capcom and me loving Injustice, we're not really fighting game people.
I played Marvel vs. Capcom. Just for the record.
Yeah, you were the Marvel vs. Capcom. You were on the Saturn, and we used to play it. And then I rebought it on the Xbox 360, and we used to play it on there.
Children of the Atom.
Children of the Atom.
On your Xbox.
Yeah, and then Injustice, because I'm a big DC nerd. Have to play Injustice. There were other games, but to be honest, I don't really remember them.
Yeah.
So, go figure. I probably couldn't even tell you their names. So that's going to do it for games. I just want to shout out that Sonic Fox, best esports player. Adorable. Love him. Fantastic. I'd never heard of him before. I was pulling for Jonak because Jonak was nominated as the best esports player. And I was like, he's from the Overwatch League. He's that awesome Zenyatta on New York Excelsior. I will vote for him. And then I will tweet Jeff Keighley and be like, yo, where's Prophet? Where's Prophet? But, like, come on. Really? But Sonic Fox won me over with his amazing acceptance speech. Go check it out on YouTube. It's fantastic. Oh, and Joseph Fares turned up at the beginning and didn't tell the Oscars they could go fuck themselves. So, rats. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you for joining me, Keith. I'll see you in about 3 seconds for the next one.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys in a
Maybe
few
a little
hours.
longer.
Maybe a little longer. Mwah. Bye.
I